was my own spaced out, G. I just spaced out. There was no reason. I just spaced out.
Okay.
I thought I was at the end. See? Just see the Maya. Okay, who's singing? Good morning, everyone. We're still singing here. Who's going to sing something? There's a lot of mumbling going on, no singing.
There are none who really wants to sing some song.
Sing then. Sing.
Okay, okay. Samsara Dava, oh Samsara Dava, Nalalita Loka, Chanaya Kavanya Ganananatam.
Sansara Dava Nalalita Loka, Chanaya Karuna Ganaganatam.
Bhaktasya Kalyana Gunanavasya.
Bhaktasya Kalyana Gunanavasya.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Mahaprabhu Kirtanani Sakita Padikamajan Manasavasteta.
Mahaprabhu Kirtanani Karita Bhajamaja Manasavasteta.
Romanchakam Pasuta Rangapajo.
Romanchakam Pasuta Rangapajo.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Shri Vigrahara Dana Nitanana. Shringaratam Mandira Madanado.
Shri Vigrahara Dhananitana. Shingaratam Mandira Majanado.
Yuktasya Bhattam Sanyanta Kopi.
Yuktasya Vatam Skaniyanta Gopi.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Sakopika Shri Bhagavata Sara. Svagana Kirtan Haribhakta Sangham.
Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavata Sara. Swarana Kirtan Haribhakta Sangha.
Krishna Krishna Bhagavata Deva.
Vitvaiva Chiptim Bhajata Sadeva.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Prashadat Nagati Kadopi. Shakshagaridvena samasta shakti yuktaskatavadikayvasadi
Kintu Baboya Priya Evasasya
Kintu Bhavoya Priya Evasya
Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam
Yakya Prasara Bhagavatasaro Yakya Prasara Bhagavatasari
Prasada Bhagavatasaro Yasya Prasada Bhagavatasari
Jayam Shivam Sajaya Sasti Sanjam
Jayastu Anta Jaya Satitanda
Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam
Srimad Guru Vasakameta Guche Vame Moho Sri Prakati Payatna
Srimad Guru Rasakameta Guche Vame Mukute Bhakti Payatna
Yastaina Vrinda Vananata Saksha
Yastena Vrindavana Nakasaksha
Vasaiva Lapya Jana Savantreva
Sevaya Labhya Jana Sundareva
Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam
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 Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru
Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru Maha Jaya Guru Maha Jaya Guru Maha Jaya Guru Maha
Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj.
This last verse, we never used to chant it in ISKCON.
Right.
So, but we seem to chant it in this mat.
Which one is
The very last one, Srimad Guru Vestakam Eta Ch.Ch. The last verse of this after Yasha Prasada, there's one more verse, isn't
Yeah,
there?
the last one. Just
Guru Vestakam Eta Ch.Ch. But we never used to sing it in ISKCON.
Mm.
For some reason we sing it in this.
Yeah. I can't really speak for that really. There's and so there's other differences as well in some of the other songs. Some of the verses they sing Hare Hare and Nama Krishna, but they sing it a little differently, and they usually only sing the first couple of verses.
Yeah.
Little things.
Shiguru, Charana, Padma, they don't sing the last verse as well.
They don't know that. They don't.
Oh yeah, or they don't have this.
Yeah.
Mm.
maybe some additional verses have been added by our.
It's possible, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I can't say, I don't know.
Yeah, possible. So the next one. Bhaya Sri Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Goya Tori Swapachara Siya Rama Sahabatari Achanta Dulava Prema Kori Varijana Shikaya Sharanagati Bhakate Rapana Janya Mani Vegana Gopite Varana Bhavatyara Kive Krishna Bhagavarana Bhakti Anukula Bhakta Kajera Sikara Bhakti Patikula Bhava Vajanandikara Saranga Sharanagati Oi Vejahara Jahara Pradana Shune Shinanda Kumara Upasana Tana Parida Setina Kori Ati Vinoda Kori Dui Pada Kori Kaniya Kaniya Kori Amito Yagama Jaya Sharanagati Kori Utama Jaya Gaura Hari 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 Vajare Vajare Amanati Manda Vajandina Gati Hare Vajamani Radha Krishna Vajandina Gati Hare Vajamani Radha Krishna Charana Ravinda Jana Kama Hari Hari Krishna Priya Jene Gaura Krishna Adege Jene Can do, yes. Sure. Hare Krishna. Good morning everyone, welcome to West London chapter of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math morning program. And so we read in the 5th chapter first of the Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. So we'll read a few verses from that. In the incarnation of Mahavishnu, so Kaviraj Swami going into some detail of how that happens. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So text 16 of this 5th chapter. Apane Purusha Vishvara Nimitta Karana Advaita Rupa Upadana Hana Narayana. Lord Vishnu himself is the efficient nimitta cause of the material world. And Narayan, in the form of Sri Advaita, is the material cause, Upadana. Nimitangse kariteo mayate ikshana, Upadana Advaita Karena Brahmanda Srijana. Lord Vishnu, in his efficient aspect, glances over the material energy. And Sri Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. And he says, Yadyapi Shankya Mane Pradana Karana Jara Haite Kabu Nahi Jagat Srijana. Although the Sankhya philosophy accepts that the material ingredients are the cause, the creation of the world never arises from dead matter. Nija Shrishti Shakti Prabhu Sanchare Pradane Ishvarera Shaktya Tabe Haita Nimane. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with his own creative potency. Then, by the power of the Lord, creation takes place. Advaita Rupe Kare Shakti Sancharana Ataiva Advaita Hayena Mukhya Karana. In the form of Advaita, he infuses the material ingredients with creative energy. Therefore, Advaita is the original cause of creation. Advaita Acharya Koti Brahmandera Kata Ara Eka Eka Mutya Brahmandera Bhata. Sri Advaita Acharya is the creator of millions of universes. And by his expansions as Garbhadakshayi Vishnu, he maintains each and every universe. And we were yesterday we were hearing from something from Brahma Samhita, and Lord Brahma's coming out. He's born out of the lotus flower that comes out of the navel of Mahavishnu. So even before him, Mahavishnu is starting the creation. Brahma comes. Then he doesn't know what to do, he's just in darkness, he doesn't know anything, and he just hears tapa, do austerity, tapas, do tapa. So he starts to meditate, and then this beautiful Brahma Samhita is revealed to him. So that Mahavishnu is who Advaita Acharya is. It's inconceivable, but we're reading it. Se Narayanera Mukhya Ange Advaita Ange Shabde Angsakari Kahi Bhagavata. Sri Advaita is the principal limb, Anga. That's that word, Anga, like Gauranga. Sri Advaita is the principal limb, Anga, of Narayan. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of limb, Anga, as a plenary portion, Angsa, of the Lord. And then there's the quote from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanastvang nahi savadenam atmasyadishakila lokashakshi narayano ungam narabhujalayanat Ch.Ch satyamna tataiva maya. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father, Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhadakshayi Vishnu. And that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. This verse describes that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy. And then, Angsanakaya kena kaitana anga. Angsahate angayate haya antaranga. This is Kaviraj writing now. He says, why has Sri Advaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is that limb implies greater intimacy. Mahavishnu, and then it says, Lord Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of Bhakti. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. And there's a commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu is an incarnation of Vishnu, for the welfare of the conditioned souls, he manifested himself as a servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And throughout all his activities, he showed himself to be an eternal servitor. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda also manifested the same principle, although they also belong to the category of Vishnu. If Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu had exhibited their all-powerful Vishnu potencies within this material world, people would have become greater impersonalists, monists and self-worshippers than they had already become under the spell of this age. Therefore, the personality of Godhead and his different incarnations and forms played the parts of devotees to instruct the conditioned souls how to approach the transcendental stage of devotional service. Advaita Acharya especially intended to reach the conditioned souls about devotional service. The word Acharya means teacher. The special function of such a teacher is to make people Krishna conscious. A bona fide teacher following in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya has no other business than to spread the principles of Krishna consciousness all over the world. And then the text again, since he has no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. He is the spiritual master of all devotees and is the most revered personality in the world. By a combination of these two names, his name is Advaita Acharya. And then Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, Sri Advaita Acharya is the prime spiritual master of the Vaishnavas, and he is worshipable by all the Vaishnavas. So he's Advaita Acharya, and we should say something of Srila Janardana Maharaj today also. So speaking of Acharyas, today is the appearance day of California is what, 9 hours or something like that?
It's midnight maybe.
So it may be not quite, it may just be in the middle of the night there, but anyway, it's coming to his divine appearance day. Our dear Janardana Maharaj, who took sannyas in Vrindavan in the Radha Damodar temple just by the samadhi of Rupa Goswami from Srila Prabhupada in 1973. Inconceivable, 1973, as a young man, and he stayed in India a long time. All those famous programs that Srila Prabhupada did in pandals in Bombay and other places. He was there. In fact, he only ever saw Srila Prabhupada in India. He never saw him in America or anything like that. His connection with him was always in India. And then very kind, very humble Vaishnava. What can I say, really? I owe him a lot. When I first came to the mat, I'd sort of been in ISKCON. I wasn't initiated or anything, but I'd been around a little bit. But when I first came to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat, of course, it was Mahananda who opened the gate and let me in. But it was Janardana Maharaj who sort of took me under his wing a little bit and, helped me adjust to a different environment, different situation, very kindly. And in ISKCON, he was big acharya. He was in charge of, he was like a zonal in charge of South and Central America. Lots of disciples throughout South America, and maybe was it Central America as well, and North America. So many Spanish, he speaks Spanish, so he had many Spanish-speaking disciples. He was GBC. In fact, I think he was lifetime GBC. I think Prabhupada said he was going to be a lifetime GBC. He had that much faith in him that he was going to just give him that position. Yeah, I think I heard that. And so he was in a big, important position, And then eventually, he got a connection with Srila Guru Maharaj, him and Ashram Maharaj, and he just, he told his disciples, well, I'm leaving, and I'm going to bow down at Guru Maharaj, to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. It takes something to leave that prestige and, that kind of position where you're the acharya of a whole continent, right? And on the GB, big, and he basically told his disciples, you're welcome to come with me. You should come with me, but if you don't want to, if you want to stay in this organization, that's okay, but I'm going. And came to Srila Guru Maharaj. And came a little later, so I think he was probably only with Guru Maharaj perhaps 1 year or something like that, perhaps 2. So mostly he was we can say the dear servitor of Srila Govinda Maharaj for all that time that Srila Govinda Maharaj had taken over the responsibility and everything from the mat. And then when he started touring the world so many times, Janardhan Maharaj was often with him here in London and elsewhere. Can somebody else? Can we hear from other things from Janardhan Maharaj, about Janardhan Maharaj from other people? What some memory or some that would be nice. Some little thing.
He's very famous and very. He reads the.
Oh yes.
So on.
Yes.
He's so expert in explaining that.
Yes, that's a really nice point.
Yeah.
Sorry. He has some peculiar attraction and affection for Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Gurudev noted it as well, didn't he? That he just seems to relish it. He goes into his own, that's a wonderful. And then he's been the rock of the ashram in Sokel for so many years. Well, since it came out, looking after the devotees there, and still him and Ashram Maharaj are like a team. They're best friends for so many years, from way back in the day, and Srila Govinda Maharaj had so much love for them both. So still to this day, even though he's now, I don't know how old he is today, but we're all getting up there, and he's also going up there. Still traveling to Mexico and other countries in Central and South America, and to India. I mean, he still goes quite regularly to try and serve the mission there, serve the devotees there. And we know it's not so easy when you get older to do that, but he does that, and just takes that as his service. He likes prasadam. He doesn't like carrots. He's not a fan of carrots. And after the class is finished, I'll remember so many things. But anyway, we're just, and he's powerful. He's a powerful devotee, He's quite softly spoken most of the time, but he's empowered and has the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj. And to be a sannyasi is not an easy thing. And to be a sannyasi since 1973, it's like, it's incredible, really. It's really incredible. So anyway, he's the heart, there in Sokel, he is the centre, the linchpin of the community there, and then over the hill we have the ladies' ashram with Kumkum Didi and Jivana and Vimala, like that. So anyway, there'll be a grand festival there today, around the world, but especially in the Americas, North and South, and Mexico, and amongst the Spanish-speaking devotees and the English-speaking devotees. So it's a wonderful day, and we're grateful to have the association and guidance of Janardhan Maharaj in our lives.
And he's coming to London very soon.
And he's coming to London very soon. On his way to India?
He's coming on the 15th of February.
On his way to India?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll stay a few days here.
Okay, wonderful. It's good for him also to break the journey, because coming from America to India is like
And Ashram Maharaj is coming then also here, and they
Both.
together they
Oh,
travel.
wonderful!
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So okay, so everyone will be happy to.
So from the 15th of February.
15,
up
so
to the
very soon.
21,
Yeah.
Very soon. Till the 21.
Yeah. And then they're coming back to London on the
Oh.
16th of March.
Mm.
I think 14 Janardhan and
14th
17
of
Ashram
March. Yes,
until 29.
Okay.
that's right.
And also Janardhan Maharaj has some road,
Some
some
disciples
disciples here in London.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
So we'll have a little noon program with them today.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
Do a little
Right.
offering.
Right. What, do you have any dishes that he likes specifically? As far as I remember, he likes everything except carrots.
He doesn't
likes
like
that.
the soya products.
He doesn't like soya products.
He likes little pans. Krishna is not a soya boy. He's a flour, milk. He likes milk.
Right.
Bengali, I think he likes Bengali preparation.
What do you
Yeah.
say?
Bengali preparation.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes that. Dal, rice,
Right.
Ch.Ch.
And by the grace of Srila Janardhan Maharaj, we have Mahaprabhu here.
Oh, really?
The Lordships.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because when he came, we are going to do the anniversary festival here, right? And having deities is a big responsibility, right? And we knew that. So we're trying to hold on with that,
Right.
the installation. We just had a picture of the deities on
Right.
Green Street here.
Uh-huh.
But when he came for the anniversary for the opening of this temple in 2014, right? He encouraged us, you must bring the Lord. Without the Lord, there is no really proper,
Right.
like opening and installing, opening a temple, you can. So he encouraged us to receive the Lord and serve Him like that. He was very sweet.
And Bhakti Vimalacharya must
Of
have
course.
also set it in,
Well, of course,
There was a
for
lot
long
of
time.
negotiation, uneasiness about it. But he pushed it through.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true, for a long time, they want to send deities here. But we were a little bit, wait a little bit. And because it's a responsibility from
Yes.
lifetime,
Yes. Lifetime.
generation after generation.
Right.
It's a commitment, so it has to be done properly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're trying. But he actually made that
Okay.
push.
I
It
know
was
that.
beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, any questions about anything? Or
Jai
comments?
Srila Bhakti Janardhan Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai. All glories to his service. His
Yes.
beautiful service life.
Yes, all glories to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
He's an eternal associate of Srila Govinda Maharaj.
Yes.
Mm.
He's still very dear to
Yes.
Govinda Maharaj.
I think that you have a question.
Me?
No.
Maybe your thoughts on rules and regulations and guides that are left for us by our acharyas, because it's really, for me it's kind of funny how devotees, they decide that they don't want to follow rules that they don't want to follow, and they follow rules that they want to follow. It's like they bring out their list of rules and then they're like, this I don't like, I'll throw it away. This I like because I want to do it. So like your thoughts on it and what is your opinion?
Well, the whole, we want to please our guru, want to please our divine masters, so we need to try to follow their instructions. What can we say, you know? And we know that we are, you know, fallen conditioned souls, and we're going to fail often and constantly many things, but we have to try in that line. It's not so difficult, you know, the basic things. You need something?
Well, if you do service, I read something, if you engage yourself in service, then the negative thing, because you don't like it,
Right.
when you want to engage in the service of your guru, or you have realized that Krishna consciousness is the most beautiful thing in your life, may be difficult, but by engaging in service, being in the temple and associating with the devotees, then the negative things go away by itself. So then, by you engaging in service and in chanting and associating with the devotees, then the negative things will go away.
What negative things?
Well, the attachment to...
No, I'm talking about, for example, I'm taking a shower before Mangalarti and wearing clean clothing to Mangalarti.
Right.
I'm not talking about, you know, like
Right.
some high things that, well, we're not supposed to eat carrots and tomatoes and chilies because Mahaprabhu never ate them, because there were no carrots and chilies in
Okay.
India.
All
I'm
right.
talking about, you know, basic things. Just like, I don't know, about taking a shower, not wearing your dirty shoes that you walk outside into the temple room.
Right.
You know, or you know, just the most basic ones, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like doing the puja. You're supposed to be doing it like, you know, a certain time, you know, like you're supposed to do like 4 times to the feet, 2 times to the chest, you know, 7 times to the body, and it's all external. You have to know how to do it internally. It's like this counting, this is not the right way. Even though it's said you have to.
Right.
So like some stuff like this, the basics.
Right.
Because of course no one is able to follow the rules that are like all of the rules. No one is able to do it.
So, you know, we're always sticking close to our guardians, to our Gurudev. So, you know, the Vaishnavas worship the Murti, the deity form of the Lord. But where that particular service stands in the importance of the spiritual life, what is emphasized more. Like Gurudev didn't like us diving into that world, because we can't do it, like you say. Who's going to follow all those? Who can do that, right? And with B, we can become lost in that. Well, it's this Shastra, you have to do this, and you can learn a billion mantras, and you can be swallowed up in this thing, which is not what we're here for. It's to be changed inside from this nasty, selfish piece of crap into something approaching someone who wants to go in the direction of surrender. So all these things have their place, and in their purest form we're just practitioners of that. And as practitioners, we get engaged in these services, and we try and do the best we can. You know, we should definitely have a shower in the morning. But even that is down to utility is the principle. If you're in, you know, Tomsk, Siberia, with no hot water, and you know, maybe you wait until later in the day, or whatever it may be, you know. Prabhupada used to say utility is the principle. If it's something that's just not practical, don't waste so much energy trying to do that, okay? So we know we can't follow all the rules. They're endless, okay? So Gurudev will have, you know, Gurudev has sort of given us what's important, and these things we should try and do. Centering about things like Trinada, peace and Ch.Ch. Now, this is the top of the list, and so on like that. So when it comes to these other services, we'll we want to try and do our best. What more can we do? But he's definitely he didn't want us to dive into those rules and regulations. We're not Brahmins in that sense. Okay, we've been given the Gayatri Mantra, which is coming from Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Saraswati Thakur. So not only has Gayatri Mantra come to us, but this beautifully sublime understanding of what that mantra is. And is given direction to, in the ocean of, devotional service, the ocean of things. There's so many opportunities to go off on a tangent and go far away. Same with the Shastra, it's scripture. There's an ocean of scriptures. And if you read them all, you'll become confused, deluded. There's many opportunities to go fully puggle by reading this and that. Okay? Scholarship is poison, Guru Maharaj would say. Poison. And then Goswami Maharaj saying, yes, but Maharaj, but you know everything, you're the greatest scholar. And then he said Guru Maharaj looked a little bit caught out, and he thought for a second, and he said, yes, but that's in service of devotion, trying to do service of devotion. So that's why we're not just like, oh yeah, read all the scriptures, because it's the same with all of them. What's that? It's in this book here, Navadip Paritma. I think it's what's that? Anyway, what it means, I can't remember the Bengali, is to the inimical or to the egotistical or to those people. It's Bahimukha Shastra Jane. Anyway, to the Bahimukha, the outward looking people, the Shastra will twist you and mess you up, basically. It'll make you. But to the gentle, say Shastra, the same Shastra, Deya Krishna Bhakti, gives Krishna Bhakti, okay? Because everything is in the conscious world, say. So it's not that we say, yeah, read the scripture. It's not even, even in this particular line of Guru Maharaj, we're giving most importance to, certain parts of the scriptures where the purest thing is being revealed, coming out. So it always has to come through the eyes of our most immediate guardians like that. Otherwise we get lost in it. Because you're right, you can't. The Hari Bhakti Vilas is like endless injunctions. And Mahaprabhu came to save us from all that, really. He was there dancing with Haridas Thakur, who was born in a Muslim family. And, the things that the Brahmanas wouldn't even dream of doing. The smarters who were following all the rules. And so you can follow a bunch of rules. Well, even that you can't really do. In other societies, they have the big weddings and that with the fire yagya and walking around. Gurudev didn't want us to do that. He said nobody can follow these. You can't do it properly, and you can't keep those vows, and you can't keep anything. So don't bother with it. Feed the devotees. Make a festival. Feed the deities. Get the blessings of the devotees, and then do it legally, and then you're good. That was his prescription if you're going to get married. Not all the rigmarole of, Go on, sorry, Ch.Ch, you were going to say something.
Just like No, I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about some high rules, you know. Some
No, I understand
over the
that.
head, like you're allowed to eat only this and this and this
Right.
day, or like you have to do this every day, or like that. Because I know a devotee, he was very obsessed with all the rules,
Right.
like following everything, and every rule he saw, he started following.
Right.
After a month of it, he nearly died. He lost like 20 kilograms because he was not allowed to eat majority of the things that were, you know. He would cook for himself.
This is what happens when you just follow your own brain.
Yeah. You start following all the rules, and of course, like people nowadays, they will.
Right.
People are gonna start dying if they start following all the rules. But I'm talking about, you know, just the basic, because you know, when you walk in the temple and then you're seeing, you're like, oh no, I'm only internal, I'm not external. These rules are not for me. Like, I don't know. It's just for me. It's like it's very weird when you come like, oh, this is not for me, and then it's like there's a bunch of basic rules, and some devotees they're like, this one, I like this one I don't like, I'm not gonna follow it. Of course, like I understand that, you know, like I'm not talking about very hard, difficult rules to follow. Just the basics. Don't wear your shoes, you know, in the kitchen, for example, or put a tilak on. Wear a dhoti, you know. Something like, you know, if you have a Brahmana thread, it's better to, you know, to change it on full moon or Ekadashi. Some devotees are like, full moon, I don't care. It's just like the basics. Like, you know, and it's like, for me it's very weird when, you know, oh, don't do this, this is bad. And when you tell them something, another rule that is basic knowledge, they're like, oh no, you're crazy. What are you telling me? This is pointless. So, you know, it's like,
Hare Krishna. You know, what can I say, really? We have our guru, he's given us some instructions, we're going to try and do that. And those simple things, what's the difficulty? Even you know, people who aren't devotees take their shoes off in their house. You know, it's not like, it's not, you know, take a bath every day. It's just like some civilized behaviour. And, you know, and the thread thing, yeah, if you've got a pile of threads and you can remember what day it is, and you can, very nice, you know, it's very nice. It's very nice to chant Gayatri. In this country it's hard because it's dark late and early late and freezing cold, but like in Thailand and India, you know, if you can sit outside as it's just changing from the, you know, it's becoming light, but the stars are still in the sky, that's the time to chant Gayatri. And in Thailand, we were meeting before Mangalarti and just sitting on the platform all together and chanting Gayatri as that time of day. And it's beautiful, you know. It's just beautiful. It's like outside and, you know. But when you live in London and it's pouring down with rain and it doesn't get light till 7:30 and you're up at 5, what are you going to do, you know? So it's nice to follow those things, but in the list of what's critical and what is going to be the lesson of our lives, it's nothing to do with. I remember a friend of ours in California, and he said, oh, he'd met this lady, and he was like, oh, she's really nice, and she's interested. I mean, she takes her shoes off in the house and everything. like that was the mark of like being interested in spiritual life, was if you take shoes off in the house. You know, and if we're staying in a temple, then we have to follow the rules of the temple, and they may be different. You know, the rule in, you know, the main themes will be the same, but there may be a specific thing here that isn't there, and there may be something there that's there. No, that's just a process of adjustment, you know. But ultimately, we want to be of service and happy and useful and all those things, and then all those other things will become adjusted naturally, you know. Because we're not about rules. I mean, we have ways of doing things, but really, and that's why we don't just pick up these books and then follow them, because our brain tells us to. It's got to come from some living, affectionate heart, who may even say to somebody, well, you know, you don't need to do that. You know, it's a living, dynamic flow of reality, not confined to a bunch of rules. Like we were hearing yesterday of the Shalagram Shila on the meat thing. You know, any rule rule follower would be just absolutely horrified to see that, as the Brahmin was who saw it, horrified, and took that Shila away from that butcher, and started doing all the rules, and then had a dream saying, "What were you doing?" "I was loving that, going up and down, having a great time." And you're like, how are you going to arrive at that conclusion that that is the nature of the unconditioned infinite if you're just following the book of rules? Bhakti Thakur says it in the Bhagavat, it's Philosophy and Ethics, that short speech that he made in 18 something or other, when he's talking about party spirit, the great enemy of truth, that leads me to believe that the supreme absolute reality exists only in my old religious book. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, just like bam. It's not a sectarian thing, and any rule that's there is only to like sort of help you focus and help you help us. And our Gurudevs are very merciful. We're not Brahmins from South India or anywhere else. We're not. We have no quality. We're just Western Kali Yugarites, that somehow have been saved under the banner of Nityananda Mahaprabhu. And our gurus are very merciful. Like in China, they, the stuff they eat in China is bonkers, really, you know what I mean? And Gurudev was, people were saying, but it's very difficult there, they're eating meat and this and that. And Gurudev was like sort of not worried about that at all. He said, well, if they cannot eat beef, that would be good, if they can try not to eat the cows. But otherwise, he wasn't like, what we would say is quite an important thing on the list. He was not saying, he was happy that they'd come in connection and they had some affection and attraction to the holy name, to the devotees, and he just wanted to encourage that. And then as you develop, then you realize, it's like when people, people come to India and there's all these amazing pictures in the market, of Krishna, Shiva, Durga, Mahaprabhu, and they're very attractive. You think, oh yeah, it's so beautiful, and you get it and you stick it on the wall, and then later on you start to realise, well, actually it's not even accurate. This, Lakshmi Devi's always got money pouring out of her, like she's anything to do with that. Shri Devi, she's auspiciousness and beauty and fortune, not money. It's not right. And even the simple stuff, you see Krishna and Arjuna in the chariot, and they've got a flag with an Om on it. Well, we know that it wasn't an Om on the flag. We know what was on the flag of Krishna Arjuna. You know what was on the flag? Hanumanji was on the flag. So you're like, well, whoever's painted this hasn't even got a clue what they're doing. What to speak of the features, the visual arts in India are considered lower. Poetry is the king of art, not painting. As soon as you painted it, then you've sort of imprisoned the poetry, the top. So, as you develop, you realise, what, I'm going to take that down off my altar. I don't really need that there. And then after some other time, you realise, but at the beginning, you don't say, no, you've got to take that crystal off your altar. What, you bloody crazy hippie? And take, who's going to do that? You want to encourage them. Yes, this is nice. It's beautiful. Yes, what you hold sacred, you have that there. And as that gets refined, you'll end up with a picture of Gurudev there. You'll end up with that kind of simple thing, and that's enough. So, it's always what they say, spiritual life is a razor's edge, and it's not wrong. There's a million ways to go off. Yes, if you let your mind devour whatever it is, whether it's all the Shastra, I'm going to read them all, or whether it's the rules, I'm going to follow them all, or I'm not going to follow them all, whatever it is. Ch.Ch was saying that the saving grace is responsible service when I'm occupied physically and mentally, when I've got to, I'm writing, that's why preaching is so good, because you have to be focused. You can chant Harinam, you can be thinking about anything when we're taking the name. The mind can go here and there. But if you're speaking with someone, or if you're in that kind of writing something or doing something like that, you've got to be focused. You can't be thinking of other things. You're focused on that. So responsible service is good, and then we want to, to do our best, I guess, to follow. At least have a bath. But even, anyway, that would be good.
Very quickly, because I guess
Right.
you have to finish.
Yes.
It seems like, or at least I feel like, the affection that we have for the others,
Yes.
or for Mahaprabhu,
Yes.
or for the song,
Yes.
help a lot
Yes.
with following the rules.
Yes.
Where does this affection and love comes from? Because, for example, when we sing those songs, before even knowing the meaning of the songs, I personally had a lot of affection for them. Or Mahaprabhu, to see him awakens a lot of affection for him. Or the devotees, to just see them, we feel like we want to serve them with affection. Where does this come from? I don't think we had it from the very beginning, but it seems like it grows a little bit.
Yes.
It's just through the serving process, I think, maybe, or...
Right. Well, it is the nature of the soul that is constitutionally we are servants. Constitutionally, we are meant for this. Like Gurudev says, maybe Guru Maharaj, when we're in that position, we're like a fish in water, or an animal in a healthy environment. We're in our natural home. It's what we're built for. We're not actually designed for exploitation. That's why we fail all the time at it. We're designed for that. So it's there somewhere anyway. And then by the grace of the Vaishnavas, really, by the grace of the upper world, that's awakened. And if it comes very quickly, it more than likely means that experience has been there before somewhere and it's coming back again. Maybe not. Can't say for sure. But it's, Gurudev would say, it was one of his sutras, Srila Govinda Maharaj. This spiritual life is a heart transaction. Beautiful. Not a rules-based this, none of that. It's a heart transaction. First and foremost with the Guru. That's why their holy name, you can get it from anywhere. You can read it in a book, you can read it off the internet, something. And there's potency in that. But actually at the time of initiation, it's not just those words. It's the heart of Gurudev to your heart, putting into your hands. I got this mantra from my Gurudev and I'm giving it to you. Heart transaction. And then with all the wider family, some we'll be very close with, some we won't be so close with. But those relationships, heart transaction, it means relationship with divine service and this divine road, golden road, as the central theme of that. And it's so wonderful that that's what it is, And Gurudev would, he would tease like, I'm thinking of, there'd be some sannyasi, maybe Indian sannyasi, who'd be very strict and following everything, and then Gurudev would try and be giving chocolate or something. He's not supposed to eat, No, you take, Maharaj, you take. And he's like, what do I do? He's telling me to take it, but I'm following all these. And I always remember Paramananda when he came, he was a hardcore ISKCON brahmachari, distributing books all around Siberia, northern Russia. And they were going to the slaughterhouses. They'd figured out where is the worst place to go. So they were going in these visions of hell and selling books. And going down the mines and staying down there for 2 days, selling books. Just unbelievable. So when he came when he came to the mat, Gurudev just looked at him and said, "Would you like a cup of tea?" Like, you know, and he's like, "Oh, tea?" And I think it would maybe have a Duke Maharaj and then maybe Shruta with him, somebody saying, because he said Gurudev could see in his face his like, you know, astonishment. Gurudev would do that, and then somebody else, he would be, you need to, you know, follow some rule or other, and with somebody else, he's kind of subverting that, because you'll undermine, cutting it, yeah, going underneath it so it falls in, pulling that rug away, because we can easily think that, you know, I'm following so many rules, therefore I must be a good devotee, right? And and another occasion, he was going to send a devotee somewhere, maybe to Russia, maybe somewhere to preach. And other devotees were saying, "Oh, Gurudev, I don't know whether you should send him because he's, you know, he's doing something he shouldn't be, you know, breaking some rule, doing something, got some bad habit or something like that." And Gurudev said, "I'm not worried about that because he's mine. He's only going to give what I'm giving. And if he has some flaw, that I'm not worried about that, you know." And we're encouraged that, you know, we want to see our own flaws. Gurudev starts saying like that, you know, that my religion is finding the fault within myself. That's what I'm doing. Not
my religion is
finding my own fault. Look, is how do you express it? Is finding fault with myself. Not in a way of like, you know, like low self-esteem. Not like that. But seeing where am I, what needs to be corrected in me. So I should always be seeing my own faults, but in the faults of other people, we're warned against that. He said you should find the good qualities in others and focus on that. You know, these are big asks. It's not like it's easy, but this is the nobody said it was going to be easy. It can be easy in the beginning, you know, we get a lot of mercy in the beginning and we're taking prasad. But then when we realise, as we start trying to follow these kind of instructions, you know, these kind of instructions, not like, you know, face east when you do this and how many times you do that, not those, the ones that really cut into us, like these ones, being humble and tolerant, then we realise, oh yeah, this is well, Guru Maharaj saying the greatest adventure of our lives. You know, this is something. How many lifetimes was this? But you know, I don't care about that. But please, you know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur praying, please, whatever happens, if I go to heaven, if I go to hell, or this, that, and the other, let me stay in connection with this. Let me stay in connection with your devotees. Let me stay in connection with this beautiful conception. That's what I want. And anything else, let it be. You know, my karma is my karma. But I believe that it's coming to me under your gracious dispensation. So, Hare Krishna. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gaura Hari. You going to sing, Didi? Hare Hare.
Keshavananda ki jai.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govindaram Shri Madhusudana.
Gopala Govindaram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Jai Sripad Kashishi Guru Goranga Sundaradha Giridhari Juki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshila Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Mr. Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Jai Srila Bhakti Kushamasha Maharaj Ki Jai. Pavan, Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janan Maharaj, Abhibhav Mahotsav Ki Jai, Srila Janan Maharaj Ki Jai, all the disciples of Janan Maharaj Ki Jai, all the devotees Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.